This is Matt Paranych here of the Regina Pats. I wear number 44 and I'm a speedy little defenseman, and I'm here on the Pats cast and enjoy this podcast.
Back at the line, it's Julian Mays. Into the middle, Paranych, a drive, scores! A blast from the line by Matt Paranych as he picks up his 5th goal this season. St. Martin driving in below the left circle. Now around the net, centering pass in front. Weisblatt's alone, and a stop made by Pine. How did he stop that one? The puck deflected back in the Hurricanes' net. Good interception. Centered in front. Baxter White hit a backhand top. Rebound, score! That one will count. Braxton Whitehead ends the goal drought for the Regina Pats. Oh boy, a breakaway for Andreessen. He's to the net on the right wing side. Spins, centers it. Adair shoots. Stopped by Huey. A centering pass stopped by Huey. Andreessen was robbed, and Regina needs to get a goal for Huey, who has made some huge saves.
Welcome to Pats Cast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. It's March 3rd, it's episode 198. Chris here, Kevin there. How are we tonight, Kev?
Better than yesterday, but that's another story for another time. But another week where Pats struggled to score some goals. Couple okay-ish hockey games at least, but man, couldn't buy a goal.
Oh, I know, yeah. Sorry we're out a day late, but Kevin's a little under the weather last night, so whatever. We'll push it to a Monday night, and this will be a quick one. I think we got a great episode or a great interview this episode with Matt Paranych, so that it's definitely want to listen to that one. But yeah, the team on the ice, Medicine Hat, just general thoughts. I just thought that wasn't a bad game. They outplayed Medicine Hat. They just couldn't buy a goal. And Lethbridge, they didn't have much. Lethbridge is much, like we talked about before, they're much more sound defensively.
Like that third period against Medicine Hat, the Pats had, they threw everything but the kitchen sink at Switzer. Yeah. Nothing would get past them.
I know. Like we talked about it, they scored like 9 goals in 2 games against Switzer, and then now it's donuts the last 2. Like
yep.
he's kind of got rolling though. Like he's done well.
Well, they say defense wins championships, and they're shutting guys down. Like even Mennigan got a shutout the last game too. So like they're not allowing much at all.
But you just compared to the Lethbridge game, are they really that good defensively? Like they do. Like that run gun style where Lethbridge just like kind of just shuts the Pats down.
They stifle you, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but
I don't know if it's just,
Medicine Hat's going through some serious injury issues, and they had McKenna suspended.
Right.
Boo.
Yeah.
But whatever. Missed getting to see him here one last time this season. But then they've got 4 or 5 guys injured, like long term. Lidstrom still hasn't played yet this year. Bash is done until the playoffs or whenever.
Late into the playoffs, probably.
And they were playing with a forward playing defense, and they had a 15-year-old that looked like he wasn't out of place at all. Luke Ruptash, like they just roll. They just find ways to score goals. They find ways to win. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, they weren't. They didn't. The last couple games, they haven't run up the Pats score-wise, but they still find a way to win, right? So, but yeah.
Both goalies played really well. Switzer, like you said, with the donut. Pine stopped 25-26. Like, without a doubt, I think he would be classified as the Pats' best player consistently this year, at least.
Yeah. No, for sure. We talked about that at the midseason. He was team's MVP, and I don't think that has really changed.
No, I don't think so either.
He's maybe taken a slight step back in the second half, but I mean, nobody else has really taken the reins on that mantle, right? So,
but when the team is kind of not scoring, like getting shut out 4 of 5, scoring 1 in those games, and then having 4 goals the prior, and then shut out the game before that, or was it 1 goal against the game, or 1 goal the game before that? Like. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You allow 3, you're done. If you can only score 1.
It's tough to come by lately. Unfortunately, I don't know what else to say. Like it's just they look good against Medicine Hat, right? It's not like they look terrible. It's just
can't buy a goal. Like
just
that
couldn't
third
buy a
period
goal.
was one of the better periods they played
In a long time.
recently, other than the 4-1 win. But they just couldn't buy a goal. Anytime they had a good opportunity, it just seemed like Switzer swallowed it up. Oh well, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, that McKenna, not seeing him is too bad, but 3-game suspension, I don't think it was really unwarranted. It's kind of watching that game, actually kind of seeing it happen. It's like kind of ugly, but it is what it is.
First time offender getting 3 games for that. I don't know, but
yeah,
I guess they're just trying to send a message that no one's safe.
Yeah,
I guess you do that. You take a 2-hander across a guy's
hands,
stick hand area. You're going to get suspended.
And then the attempted cross check as he was falling down with the broken stick too.
So maybe that's why, because of the broken stick. It's like you never know, right?
Yeah.
You fall, inadvertently stab someone with a broken stick. That would be bad.
Yeah, not good at all. But yeah, that's the Mets night game. It was a good game though. It was I guess 2-0, but it wasn't a bad game to watch.
It was actually decent.
Yeah.
Especially when the Pats actually forced them in the third period. They just couldn't get one in.
No, they look good. I mean, Brad was pretty happy after the game. He's just like, he's like, our back 40 was good. Just like I said, just couldn't get a goal. But like I said, just want to see good efforts, right? So
yeah, for sure. See what these guys have for next year.
So then going into the next night, Lethbridge, and it was not much was happening there for the Pats at all, right? Like
nope.
Like we've seen that before. Lethbridge was pretty tight defensively. I mean, somehow the Pats were able to score 5 last time in Lethbridge, but I think they must have just had an off night. And like you look at the shot totals.
Caught them off guard.
Yeah, something, right? You look at the shots for the Pats, 4 in the first, 4 in the third. Like, that's rough.
That was rough. It was a little more of a struggle to watch that game.
Yeah, it was not great. And
you expect ups and downs, but at least, hey, Braxton Whitehead scored, got the Pats on the board.
Yeah,
it's a big sigh of relief.
4 games in a row with the shutout, getting shut out. But I think it kind of came. I don't know if it really would have mattered, but like Lethbridge scored 2 on the power play early in the third, and it was a rough penalty, real rough. Who got it? Moore for tripping. Like he just finished his check in the corner. The guy fell down on the penalty kill, and they called that for tripping. So then they get a 5-on-3. They score 1 on the 5-on-3, and then they score 1 on Moore's penalty, and that was it. It was curtains.
Yeah, because it was 2-1 at that point.
It was 2-1, but let's be realistic.
The score was 2-1. The game wasn't 2-1.
Yes, exactly. Right. Would the Pats maybe got it to overtime? I don't know. It would have been. But that was the death. That was the dagger, and it was honestly a terrible call. Like, especially when the goaltender, what was his name? Cleaver, like he clearly tripped a Pat coming out of the corner or out from behind the net.
Yeah.
Like clear as day. Like I don't know how that wasn't tripping. Like
right in front of the ref too.
Right in front of the ref. Like the guy swung his stick and took Eglund's legs out. Right. Like how is that not a penalty? Like I just don't understand. That was early in the game, so you set that kind of standard. Okay, whatever, don't call it. That's fine. But don't call Moore for finishing his check and the guy falling down. Like, it wasn't interference. It was just a body check, and the guy fell down.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is what it is.
It happens when you're the lower ranked team. The referees tend to be a little more lenient towards the higher ranked teams. In
but usually on a penalty, or on a penalty kill, you gotta really murder somebody to get a second call, right? Like you see guys,
penalty.
Right, yeah. Like you see, guys battling in front of the net. Oh, they're not going to call a second penalty, so there's 10 cross checks. You knock the guy down 5 times, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
No call, right? And then, which probably should be a call most of the time, and then they call that. So it was just kind of frustrating to see because Pats couldn't catch a break, right? Like it's just and then they get behind the 8 ball with that. Like it's
Yeah. Oh well. Can't really complain about the officiating when you can't score goals.
No, that's
it hurts
for sure.
But if you only score 1,
Yeah, you're not going to win any
can't really
games.
complain too much.
No, just like to see a little better consistency, but
dude,
that's
man,
WHL
the officiating's been like that forever.
Yeah, I know,
I
right?
remember when I was little how they had to like basically tell people not to throw stuff on the ice because the refereeing was so bad. That's when they only had the one ref.
Yeah, exactly right. All the good refs, they move on, so that's
the
the thing.
quote unquote good refs.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's just a little frustrating to see, but oh well. But yeah, that's the two games that were played this week. Yeah, anything else you got from those two you want to comment on?
Well, the Friday game against, or the not the Friday game, the Saturday game against Lethbridge, the Pats were those Superstore jerseys.
We'll get into the jerseys, yeah.
The funky camo jerseys.
Yeah. A little tough to read.
They're
But
interesting.
I don't mind them.
But man, those numbers from up in the press box, they were hard to see.
Yeah.
Especially the sleeve numbers you pointed out right away, and like you couldn't see the numbers on the sleeves.
No, not at all.
And when the Pats have 5 or 6 guys that skate very similar, shoot the same way, it's like, who is that Lance? Is that White? Is that England? Like, who's that?
Yeah, for sure. But
I like the numbers.
Yeah,
I like the military style name bar and the PPCLI on the front.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't mind the jerseys at all. Yeah,
but just the color combination just did not.
Yeah. And like we said, they kind of blended together. It almost looked like purple from far away. Like
when you have
the red and the
blue and red, it makes purple when they're moving. It looks kind of like a purpley color.
But yeah, there's been worse designer jerseys out there for sure. So I didn't mind them. So other news this week: ex-Pat Borya Valis signed a entry-level deal with Toronto Maple Leafs. So
yeah, congratulations to Borya, 3-year deal with the Leafs. So
yeah, good to see that. You could tell he had some talent here, like, you know, and then he's just carried that on, playing with some good players in PG as well. So it's good for him. Hopefully he can go far with that.
Hard work pays off.
Yeah.
When he realized that he has a chance, he's stepped it up. He's been playing really well last couple of years.
Yeah,
so
that's a nice little find, you know, for the Pats, just to get him,
sure.
You know, a list guy out of Colorado. You know, so that's a nice little find there. What else we got this week? So then the WHL's announced
just the upcoming schedule, basically.
Well, before that, the WHL's announced their game in Whitehorse.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, that's right.
So that's they did a game. They did a regular season game there in like 2011, I think it was. It was Kamloops and somebody else, because I've seen John Keane tweet about it. So it was Kamloops and maybe PG or something, but don't quote me on that. And but those were regular season games. So this is just going to be preseason. So then kind of the sidebar to this is that's Gavin McKenna's hometown. And, you know, there's been lots of rumors around Gavin McKenna. Oh, is he going to college next year? Blah, blah, blah. So you never know what's true and what's false. And who knows, like, could be nothing to those rumors whatsoever. But I mean,
I think he'd be a tagger next year, but that's just my thoughts.
Yeah. And I mean, so he was interviewed just by Will Bryant, their play-by-play guy, just in like the weekly, because he did win Player of the Week last week prior to the suspension. And then so they talked about that as well. So he's like, yeah, pumped to go home, and, you know, he's like, show the boys around my hometown and stuff like that. And so, you know, I'm not saying he won't leave, but, you know, seems excited to go back there. So who knows what happens, but that's kind of a little interesting sidebar to that announcement. All right, so then the week ahead, we got 3 games this week. Tuesday night, and then NPA, and then a home-and-home, the old Moose Jaw Warriors. I don't know how many games we want to win. Like I said, it's depending on the Penticton thing. You want to kind of, there's the Pats are at 24% chance right now of first overall. So if they pass Kelowna, who has really been struggling, they lost 7-1 in Red Deer. You know, Red Deer that doesn't score too many goals. And I can't remember who else they played, but they kind of got whooped by them as well. But yeah, so we'll see what Kelowna's doing. They're kind of struggling lately. But yeah, I mean, Moose Jaw.
They lost to Red Deer 10-2.
Oh, 10-2. Oh,
and
the
they
other
lost
game
to
was
Calgary 7-0. One of Hauser's
7.
4 shutouts in a row, or whatever it is for Hauser.
Calgary was 7. So Red Deer 10. So Red Deer puts up 10, and Calgary of all teams only puts up 7. That's wild. Yeah. Okay. I because I thought it was 17, so I was like 10. Somebody else got 10 on them. No, Red Deer scores 10. That didn't comprehend in my brain there for a second. I was like, can Red Deer score 10 goals? But they have been getting healthier. So,
and Daniel Hauser for Calgary has 4 shutouts in a row.
Yeah, it's a WHL record.
That's craziness.
Yeah. So speaking of records and shutouts, yeah, we talked about him just amongst ourselves. Like he's been on good teams, right? Like his whole career. So like he's right up there in goaltending wins and stuff like that. And his stats are pretty good for being, quote unquote, a smaller goalie, right? Like, but coming up with Kootenay and then into that Winnipeg, those kind of good teams there. He's had some good runs.
That is very true. He's unbelievable. Like just looking at his stats really quick here. In his career, he's 118, 35, 8, and 1 with the 260 goals against average and the 909 save percentage.
And that was with, his stats. What was the save percentage in Wenatchee? Like
900.
Yeah, still 900
games.
on a not a great Wenatchee team, right? So
and then 901 the first half of this season.
Yeah.
So 900 in his whole career with Wenatchee.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. Wenatchee was they did sell off last year, so they weren't as good in the back half, but coming into this year they haven't been great. But yeah, for him to still have a 900, that's pretty impressive. So, and he's not I know he hasn't drafted, right? Like I don't think he might not even get, I don't know if he's gone to pro camp or pro tryout or those, camps or not, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what
for his 35 career losses, 25 of them came with Wenatchee.
There you go. In a season and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, in 61 games.
So I wonder if he's a guy that goes NCAA, like he, smaller guy, see if he can, play up the kind of the quote unquote the next level up kind of thing, and then maybe go from there. Who knows? But he'd be a pretty solid CIS goalie, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's true. And hopefully they wouldn't do anything like Roddy Ross did in that playoff game.
Yeah, if you didn't see that, probably not. I don't know who you sent me that, but I don't know who actually had the clip.
I'm not sure. I just saw it.
Yeah, but he tried to clear the puck, put it right on the opposing team stick, and they scored in overtime.
In overtime, passed it right to the guy.
Oh man, just slide it behind the net.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he tried to dump it out in overtime. Ouch.
Too fancy.
I wonder what happened in that series. They gave Mount Royal a 1-0 lead in the series, I think.
Yeah.
So I never did go back and see what happened with the rest of that series, but he plays for the Huskies, and the Huskies are always, a solid team. So, but his numbers were pretty good.
Yeah, he was an all-star, wasn't he?
Yes, that's where we first seen it. Yeah, he was a all-star, first team all-star for kind of West.
Canada West, yeah. Their website takes forever to load.
All right. I'm looking up another alumni story here. See if there's any update on this. No, not yet. Anyways, while you're looking up that, we came across a tweet from some senior hockey this weekend. Wynyard Monarchs tweeted out they'd like to send out gratitude and appreciation to the first responders, RCMP, and Dr. Lithwin for jumping into action last night and helping out on our bench. A very scary situation. Thanks for taking care of our guy. So that guy was Connor Hobbs. Apparently he took a pretty bad hit. Went to the bench, and apparently he collapsed from reports from other sources on Twitter. So there's been no update from Wynyard since that tweet on Friday. But yeah, hopefully he's doing okay. Just that's a tough situation there.
Yeah, after giving up that the blunder goal, Roddy Ross, the Huskies came back and won that series 2-1 against UBC. Now they play against Mount Royal in the Canada West Championship which starts on March 7th.
Okay, all right.
Former WHLer Sachin Wittela scored the winning goal in overtime that game on the beautiful giveaway.
Yeah, I see they came back. There's tight games in those other two games, 3-2 and 4-2 for Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's to get over that first game. Oof, that's a tough one.
They battle back.
Yeah, but Saskatchewan, they've always got a solid team, right? So seems like Mount Royal's been kind of good lately. They've kind of come on.
Yeah, they got some pretty good recruits there. So
yeah. So going down the CS rabbit hole, so Regina, they fired their head coach Todd Johnson this year after the season. So interesting. And sounds like they cleaned out the whole coaching staff there. So some fresh blood next year for the Cougars. Hopefully they can start putting together a decent program, because we went back and looked at it. They have not been good over the last 30 years at all.
It's been a few years since they've been pretty good.
Well, yeah, the internet era starts at 95, and they've had like one winning season since 95.
Having a quick look at the Mount Royal team, Kyle Walker plays there.
He's the captain, actually.
Robbie Holmes is there. Well, what other WHLer guys are there? Let's see. Clay Hannes is there. Leighton Feist is there. Vaughn Waterroot, Shane Farkas. Who else? Justin Lees, Jaden Weens, Teague Patton, Spencer Moe, Robbie from Delorme, Michael Ladyman, Curtis Smythe. Yeah.
That's a solid team. Yeah.
Lots of former Dub guys there. So could be an interesting series.
Yeah, definitely. That starts this coming weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all in Saskatoon at the Merlish Belcher. That's a nice little arena. I played there in this last spring. Nice little 2-rink arena. Very nice. So, I think that's about all. We kind of went down a rabbit hole there, but yeah, we should probably get on to this interview. Matt Paranych, another good one. Another young guy that has got.
They're all young guys.
Well, yeah, another young guy that can. It's got something to say. He wasn't too shy. He seemed pretty outgoing. You can see it's almost half an hour there. So, nice to sit down with him, meet him, and kind of get his story.
All right, we're pleased to welcome on Matt Paranych, defenseman of your Regina Pats. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you.
So we're sit down and get to know you. One of the newer players here, a lot on this team. Just kind of get to know you, your story, your journey to hockey. Where did it all begin? Where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in Edmonton, Alberta. Grew up for a few years in the north side, and then moved over to the west side. And grew up playing minor hockey with White Midwest, and then ended up going to play, bantam and midget and CSSHL. And yeah.
And here you are.
Yeah, here I am.
So do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have a sister. She's 13. Her name's Abby, and she's really into sports. She's really into volleyball and soccer, so she's busy.
That was
all
my
the
next
time.
question.
She's got, she's in grade 8 and school, and then all of a sudden it's running to soccer, running to volleyball. It's pretty busy days for her. She's awesome.
So a pretty athletic family then. Were your parents into sports and stuff too, or?
Yeah, my dad played in the SJHL for a bit when he was younger, and unfortunately he had a career-ending injury. He broke his wrist and can't really move his wrist anymore. And then he got into real estate, and he did well there. And my mom played all kinds of sports growing up, volleyball kind of thing.
So was your dad from Saskatchewan then?
No, my dad's from Edmonton.
Oh, okay.
And then, he just out of midget and kind of just played a little junior, and yeah.
How did he end up in Saskatchewan then?
Honestly, I have no idea. That was a long time ago. I guess listed by Yorkton, and that was really about it.
Nice. A long way from home.
Yeah.
So growing up, what other sports did you play other than hockey?
Played quite a few. I mean, obviously golf, play it to this day, and it's a good summer sport. And I was actually a goalie in soccer.
Oh, okay.
I quit when I was about, maybe 9 years old. Just hockey kind of took over, but I was a little feisty goalie out there, and played a little bit of baseball, and I always wanted to play football, but my parents never let me because they say it's too dangerous and I was too small for it. So.
And yet you play hockey.
Yeah, is that any better than football?
Yeah, I don't know.
So when did you start playing hockey?
Well, my parents took me to Millennium Place when I was 2 years old, and I started skating around, and I think we started playing actual hockey at like 4. So basically my whole life.
So your parents pretty influential in your sporting career then? Kind of, obviously they're willing to put you into sports, all these sports. Were they kind of hands-on or hands-off? Obviously your dad played some hockey. How was his kind of demeanor towards you playing good level hockey?
No, for sure. I think just the biggest thing is he's always supported me. I mean, even if I think I didn't have a bad game, he's always pointing out good stuff I did. And, it's the same with my mom. She's always, rooting for me. And, my dad's pretty connected in the hockey world. He's the Western Canadian scout for the Brooks Bandits and the BCHL. And so he's always kind of been around the rink, so he's pretty knowledgeable with hockey. And, yeah, definitely very influential.
Yeah, that's been a pretty good franchise over the last few years. So he's got some pretty good knowledge of the game.
Yeah, for sure.
So have you always been a defenseman?
I was not. I was a forward. I was a forward for a little bit, maybe 3-4 years, 5 years, and then my dad told me to switch to D, and I never looked back.
Did you ever strap on the pads to play goal?
Never strapped on the pads. Too
Never?
scared.
No.
Too scared to block the
soccer
puck.
goalie.
I don't know. Soccer goalie was just fun, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't hurt as much as a hockey puck, for sure.
That's true.
Yeah, not even one saying like novice where everybody had to play. You don't remember?
Yeah, no, never played goalie.
So growing up, who's your favorite player?
Well, a lot of favorite players. Obviously Sidney Crosby's up there for sure. I mean, I really like Anze Kopitar. I really liked him, and now obviously Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar, all those guys are my favorite players. And I'd say a defenseman when I was younger was Drew Doughty for sure. That was kind of when he was really doing well, and really looked up to him.
So you try to emulate your game after those guys, a little mix of both, all of them, or?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, me and Drew Doughty are a lot different size-wise.
Yeah.
I think I try to model my game around Quinn Hughes, Cale Makar, Jared Spurgeon type player, and that fast-moving puck defenseman, and yeah.
So minor hockey, your favorite memory? It looks like you looked up your EP page, and you played in a lot of those good high-end tournaments. So, are there any favorite memories from back then?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot, but definitely a Circle K Classic. And we won that game, and Maxwell Center was sold out to 3,600 people, standing room only, and we beat the Calgary Bison 6-rip in the final. And no, that was that group of guys. I've never seen a team more focused on winning. I've never seen so many guys not caring about personal stats, nothing. We were best friends, and that was as close as I would say perfect to a thing I've ever been a part of. It was just truly amazing.
Nice.
Nice. So you said you played some minor hockey, then you went the academy route. What kind of was the decision there, and how did that influence your hockey career now?
No, I mean, especially coming up, I guess, the CSSHL, it's an academy, so you go to school, you practice, it's a really good schedule. And I went to OHA Edmonton Bantam Prep for 2 years, and I guess the first year was COVID, and so we were at practice, not at practice at home. It was kind of a whirlwind, but, I just wanted to go to the academy, get recruited more, and better opportunity to develop myself, and it was a really good schedule too, and OHA was close to my house, and I was already going to the school that they were at, so it just made total sense for me to go.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there's lots of options nowadays for kids.
Oh, for sure.
So
for sure.
So then heading in towards your draft year, what are your kind of thoughts heading into that draft year? What was there?
Yeah, no, I mean, my draft year, was a really good year. We had a good team. Me and Julian, obviously, and There's, Landon McFadden, who's on Moose Jaw now, Andrew Thompson, who's on Kamloops. There's quite a few good players on that team, and I had a pretty good year, I would say, myself, and no, it was a super fun year, and there was a little bit of pressure, obviously, but didn't focus too much on it. But no, I had a great year that year.
So then, leading right into the draft, or what were your kind of thoughts on, like, were you had any expectations going into it, where or like position wise, or a team maybe you thinking we're going to take you, or you just going whatever,
honestly, yeah, I had some thoughts. I mean, didn't really matter where I ended up. I'm just gonna go there and work my tail off, and prove to everyone that I could play in this league. And I guess maybe there was a little bit of back and forth going with Brooks because of my dad and the Western League, but I made the decision that I wanted to go to the WHL, and I haven't looked back on that decision. And no, I had some expectations, but it doesn't really matter now.
No, you're in the league now, and
yeah,
making a career out of it.
Well, so heading into the draft, did you have any contact with any teams other than the Tigers? Was there, like, you don't have to name names or anything, but was there lots of contact, or was it just kind of
there was quite a few teams. Obviously, I think there was a little bit of navigation with the Tigers, but there was a lot of teams that were interested, and Medicine Hat just kind of it was kind of interesting. I won't get into the story, but that was kind of the team that I was talking to the most, and they took me in the third round, and I was grateful for that. So yeah.
Oh, cool. So then you go to their camp, and what was like that first rookie camp like, getting into some WHL camp in action?
Yeah, no, it was really good. I think they run a great show there in Medicine Hat, and the coaches were outstanding. And that first camp obviously was a little bit nervous, but fortunately I got signed, and then I made the decision to play at South Alberta Hockey Academy, and I toured the facility there, and I was actually committed to Yale Hockey Academy at the time, and I begged my parents to change to go to Saha. Obviously Gavin McKenna was there, and
okay, yeah,
they had some really good prospects, Caden McCann as well, and there was a lot of Tigers prospects there, and it just made the most sense for me to go there.
It's right there in Medicine Hat.
Right there in Medicine Hat. Get there a year earlier before, showing up as a 16-year-old in Medicine Hat. Never been to Medicine Hat before, so I think that really helped my comfort level there, and just get to know people, the school, the rink, and be around the Tigers more too.
Yeah. So how that, like, obviously that helped your transition, making the team as a 16-year-old, didn't it?
Oh, for sure, 100% it did. I think, the year before I got to know most of the guys, and obviously as a 15-year-old you're a little bit more quiet, but you kind of learn the way of the league, I guess, just being up, practicing. I didn't get a game in when I was 15, but I got to warm up a few times and practice quite a bit too. So no, it definitely helped me for sure.
So what was it like making the team at 16? How did it feel?
Definitely nerve-wracking. I mean, I didn't really know until pretty, October, November, when officially I made the team. I was always, every day, I wasn't getting comfortable. I was just, staying, working hard, and, proving to the coaches that I could play. And, fortunately they gave me an opportunity, and, I was super, super happy to make it last year.
We don't usually talk about other guys on these interviews, but playing with Gavin McKenna, like, we've seen like a Connor Bedard come through here, and they're few and far between, like, these high-end guys. What is it just like just to see his game and on ice and off ice?
Yeah, no, for sure. Me and Gav have been, we've been friends for a long, long time. We've been friends since we've been, 8-9 years old. So,
okay.
Just seeing him grow and, play the way that he plays, he's special. He's gonna go places, and off the ice he's a great guy. He's not. People may think he's ahead of himself, or sometimes maybe a little bit cocky, but no, that's all false. He's a super humble guy, and he puts in the work, and he puts out the results too. So he's an all-around great guy, and I love him.
Nice.
What was your welcome to the WHL moment? A big hit, a scrap, or anything? Like, what was that? Or stepping onto the ice for the first time in your first game?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, our first game last year was in the Saddle Dome, so had a rookie lap with a good friend of mine, Nate Corbet, and I guess, just skating in the Saddle Dome, for the first time, it's pretty cool for sure. I mean, obviously there's moments and plays, that I'm like, oh, that's a lot different for sure. I guess maybe just the size for me, just how quick it was, and just the size overall. That was definitely it for me.
Yeah.
August 19th, it's probably a day you'll never forget. What was going through your mind when you seen what was going on?
Yeah, I was actually heading to Julian's house. I was picking him up to go play a round of golf, and we ended up missing our round of golf for that. But no, I took a left turn into Julian's neighborhood, and there's a lady. She looked like she was passed out on the road, and her car was stopped off in the middle of the road, and I didn't think anything else but to help her. No one was helping her. People were driving by, and that's who I am as a person. I'm always taking care of people, no matter who it is. I didn't even know the lady's name until she told me it, and that's just who I am as a person. And yeah, I just sprung into action, and she got to safety.
What were you kind of thinking? Nobody else is helping her. Like it's kind of this what's going on nowadays. Like people just don't look and not really helping other people these days.
You can either stand up and act, or you can freeze and go away. I think my dad especially has had an influence on me to always stand for something or stand for nothing. And there in that moment, I didn't think anything else but to act up and help her. And luckily Julian's dad, he's a policeman in Edmonton, so called him, and I called 911, and she got her help. And no, I didn't think anything of not helping her.
Mm-hmm. Good. So then coming into that season there, and you decide that you would like a trade. You're pretty open about it after we talked to you first game of the Pats here. What was your kind of mindset with that decision?
Yeah, no, I think especially this year, it was definitely a lot tougher in Medicine Hat because they've loaded up for a championship run, and got nothing against Medicine Hat, and I just felt I was deserving a little bit more opportunity and than I was getting, and I felt I could play at a higher level and play every game in this league, and it was just kind of ripping my heart out sometimes.
Yeah, like how hard was that decision to walk away?
Yeah, for sure.
Not to quit, but to leave a team that's going to be going deep.
Yeah,
right?
No, for sure. It was there was a lot of hard decisions to be made, and ultimately at the end it was just opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really want to have to sit around all year and not play and lose my confidence as a player and question why am I here kind of thing. And no, I mean, it was all kind of opportunity based, and I took some really good things from Medicine Hat, and they gave me some really good things, and I wish them nothing but the best, and love those guys on that team. But ultimately it was just the belief in myself to get more opportunity and to have a chance to prove myself in this league.
Mm-hmm. What were your thoughts when you found out you're coming to Regina? A total rebuild team.
I was actually really happy. There was quite a bit of talk about some other teams, and I was kind of like, and then Julian got traded, and because he was in Everett, and the Pats were on the BC road trip, and I was at home at the time, and I was just sitting at home, working out, skating every day, and just like, when am I going to get a call? And Al, it was actually funny when the Pats came to Edmonton, the one game after the BC road trip, I went and watched because I wanted to go watch Julian play, and I ended up meeting Al at the game, and it was a little bit of an awkward conversation. And then 2 days later, I was on a plane to Regina, so I was super happy. And after that Oil Kings game, I didn't want to go anywhere else but Regina. I was like, my dad was trying to tell me other teams. I was like, no, I don't care. I want to go to Regina. And obviously, we're in a rebuild this year, but every teams go through rebuilds. The Tigers were the worst team in the league 3 years ago, and I watched them build it from the ground up, and I'm happy to be a part of this, and I'm happy to be a part of a winning team here.
No lack of ice time here, hey?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, but it hasn't been handed to me. I've had to play to my best abilities, and that I'm not just here just because I wanted to trade. I'm here to help our team win and in the future, and make a difference.
Yeah, lots of young talent here. Lots of guys that want to be here, and like you said, in the same position, like Julian. Like we talked to him, and him and other guys that are just raring to go. Right, you guys are young and can build this from the ground.
For sure.
So coming to Regina, you're wearing 44. Any reason for that one?
I wore number 4 in Medicine Hat, and Hooner, our equipment manager, honestly, he just
gave you a couple options.
Didn't give me an option. He just said, "Oh, you're going to wear 44." I was like, "Oh, okay, 4s. I like number 4."
Any reason number 4 in Medicine Hat, or is it just the number you got?
Well, so I used to wear number 11, and a couple summers ago, I had the chance to skate with Caden Gooley of the Montreal Canadiens, and he held the Bantam point record for OHA Edmonton. He had 40 points in 30 games, and he said, "You should wear my number this year," because I wore number 8 the year before, and he said, "You should wear my number." And so I wore his number, and I beat his point record by 12 points. So just kind of a little funny story, I guess, for that. And it just kind of stuck with me, and it's a good number.
Cool. Good story. That's good.
What's something you see yourself doing after hockey? Years and years and years down the road, what do you see yourself doing?
Or what interests you that you could see yourself doing?
Well, I've grown up in a real estate family. My dad, he's really, he's been a real estate agent for, quite a long time, and he did really well in his career, and, just watching him, grow and, be successful, and, it's kind of funny, he's a good talker, and, he's good at a lot of things. So I think that interests me a little bit. I don't know. I feel like I'm a confident person, and I'm a pretty good outgoing person too, and I'm not afraid to say things. So I think that would definitely interest me for sure.
Who are you billeting with on the team here?
Jace Eglund.
Jace, right? Oh yeah,
we just talked to Jace.
Yeah.
I knew that.
What's it like billeting with Jace?
He's a great guy. He's a Saskatchewan kid.
Small town
Saskatchewan kid
Big
outside of
city
Swift Current, but no, he's a good kid, real good kid.
Pros and cons of billeting with him.
He snores a lot.
So, what are you doing off the ice summer? You said you get into some golf. What else are you doing?
Yeah, definitely training a lot. It's a mandatory thing every day, and always in the gym, and then skating, and me and Julian get pretty competitive. We hang out quite a bit. With shooting competitions or playing ping pong. We'll be playing ping pong for 2.5 hours. All of a sudden, my hands ripped up. I'm like, oh, geez. Hang out, and we don't really do too much. Maybe I'll hang out, a little bit more with my girlfriend this summer, and she lives in Medicine Hat, so we'll be able to hang out a bit this summer. And we have a house in Kelowna, so I'll be able to go to that and go boating and stuff, and maybe train a bit in Kelowna too. And I think that's probably about it. Maybe we'll go somewhere. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. We'll see when the summer comes.
Yeah, Julian said he doesn't take much time off. He's go hockey all the time.
Yeah, no. Me and Julian will take about a week off. That's really about it, and then we'll get right back out.
Got to reset a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I think it's our life though. That's who we are.
Sure.
I mean,
recharge,
we'll have a
little
recharge, but we'll get back into it slowly, and we're going to improve a lot this summer.
What's your favorite golf course? Do you have one?
Wow. Well, obviously the ones in Maui. Maui, Hawaii. Those are pretty stellar. I mean, honestly, I don't really take golf too seriously. I just kind of play it for fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to say I'm pretty good at it. Julian had a lot of tough matches with me this year, and but no, it was really cool to see. You know, we golfed at River Ridge a lot in Victoria and Edmonton, and he wasn't into golf at all. He never played golf until this summer, and watching him improve was pretty crazy. He couldn't drive the ball 20 yards. By the end of the summer, he was driving at 230.
You had a good teacher?
Yeah, little tips and tricks. I didn't really give him too much because I don't want him to get better than me. But yeah.
What's your current TV show that you're watching, or TV series or shows? Or?
Well, I just finished Landman. That was good. Not really watching too much right now. Honestly, I'm kind of just addicted to TikTok. That's kind of my thing. It's like, oh my gosh, just 3 hours on TikTok. Oh geez. But I'm not a huge movie guy. I don't have a TV in my room, so it's either watching it on my phone or I'm just watching hockey most of the time. Usually watching the Whalers, but yeah.
What about music? What is your go-to music?
Oh, well, someone's definitely had a big influence on my music taste in the past couple months. Definitely a lot more Drake than what I used to listen to. Kind of country. It kind of mood swings for me, honestly. You know, it's like some days I like country, some days I like rap, some days I like blasting the speakers with EDM. But no, it kind of varies for me. But you know, Drake. You know, there's some EDM stuff, kind of all over the map.
And it seems to be a common answer amongst the guys.
Yeah. And then
a little bit here, a little bit there.
Yeah, a little bit there, and then you know, some days all of a sudden I'm listening to 80s music, and I'm like, oh geez, what am I doing?
What are you driving these days? We heard it was in the shop recently.
Yeah, I know. I drive a 2017 GMC All-Terrain. It's got nice fuel rims on it, and it's white. It's actually a pretty cool story how I ended up getting it. So when I got my license the day after my birthday in Medicine Hat, and I did my driver's test with the goalie coach for the Tigers, Matt Wong. So that was a hard test to do, but no, I got it. And then I was driving my mom's car around all that summer, and then I didn't think I was gonna get a car. Nothing was really coming up. You know, a lot of mild out trucks, rusted. You know, not farm trucks kind of thing. And then the day I left to Medicine Hat, coming into this year, it was at like 8 a.m. It came up on Facebook Marketplace. The guy that was selling it worked at Fountain Tire, so he kept it well maintained, and it only had 120,000 kilometers on it, and it already had the rims, and it was the interior was maintained perfectly. You know, it was pretty crazy, and got it, drove it to Medicine Hat that day.
Nice. Are you a cat or are you a dog person?
Dog person. I've never been. I used to be kind of a cat person. Honestly, I'm not a huge animal person. We have a dog named Stanley, and he's very cute, and I love him, but I've never really been an animal person. I don't like getting licked by animals. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know why. I've just never, and I don't like the smell of them either. I don't like wet dog smell, but definitely dogs over cats for sure.
Your tape job, you do the same thing? Are you a stickler for something, or
what
do you do there?
Today I wasn't liking my tape job, so I retaped my whole stick. It kind of varies, you know, time to time. You know, at the start of the year I was kind of using a Jamie Benn tape job, and then I just use one little knob at the top. I don't really go too crazy. Yeah, not too superstitious about it, but I have to tape my stick after off-ice warm-ups every single game. That's a superstition for me.
Any other superstitions? Or
just routines?
Routines?
Yeah, I mean, I have a stretching routine that I do, you know, after team meeting, and then before warm-up I have a stretching routine, and tape my stick, and then I have to drink a electrolyte salt packet, one of the Gator Light things, before team meeting every game, and then Yeah, not too much else.
What's your favorite bus activity?
TikTok.
Yeah, pretty much.
Other than TikTok.
Music. Yeah, that's really about it. Or just hanging out with Julian or the guys. Yeah, not too much. Or sleeping, I guess. I sleep a lot too.
The jerseys. We got 4 here. What's your kind of favorite combo, or you have a favorite one?
No, the ones we wore tonight. The Pats Reds. Those are sick. I think. Honestly, I really like the white. I mean, I like them all. All of them are really good. I like, all of them. They're all really good.
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up with one more question. What does it mean for you to play for the Pats?
All means everything. It was a tough couple months. In Medicine Hat at the start of the year, and thought things might have changed this year, and they weren't really changing, and I needed a change of scenery, and there was risks that I had to take too, but I'm super happy to be here. It means everything. I mean, yeah, it's frustrating, losing and being kind of in the rebuild, but we got guys that want to be here, and I want to be here. So, and I want to win here too, and we're looking, next September 1st to be ahead of other teams in this league, and we got a good group of guys, good young group of guys in the dressing room, and people forget about our veterans too, like John Babcock and Braxton Whitehead. It's harder on them. They're 20-year-olds aging out, and maybe they won't get a playoff experience and this year, and but they've accepted a role, and they've been super good with us, and they want us to be successful next year and want us to grow, and it means everything to me. If I can just be polite to someone or give a guy a compliment today or whatever, or, just being a good guy around the rink, and always pushing to be better as a player, and believing in myself and believing in the Pats, and it means everything to me for sure.
All right. Thank you very much for your time tonight.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Yeah. So what else you got? I think time to wrap it up.
I think so, yeah. We've talked enough about not much.
Yeah, I know. A 2-loss week, but it is what it is.
Season's getting closer to the end.
Yep.
Which is good. It sucks, but it's good, Like It always sucks when it ends, but this season has just not been
the greatest,
the most fun or anything like that. So better things next year, better things to come.
Yeah, hopefully see some competitive games against Moose Jaw, win or lose.
I want to see a line brawl before the end of the year. I really do.
Kind of top the Moose Jaw finale from last year.
Yes. I want to see goalies swinging. Probably won't happen, but I do want to see it.
Yeah. Maybe Huey will get into one this year.
You never know.
You never know.
Bang.
Yep. Anyways, with that, we'll see you at the rink this weekend. Have a good night.
Have a good one.